Assalamu alaikum, dear listeners. I'm sure everybody will be fine out there. Today, we are going to have an interactive debate, interactive live session with the topic, with the theme, the impact of ICT on improving the education scenario. We have got some special guests with you. We have got Professor Iqbal Batsa with us, who is very experienced and well versed in the field of computers and information technology. We have got some students with us. We have got Taiba Anayat of class 9 from Government High Secondary School, Harman. We have got Wani Danish of Boys High Secondary School, Shopaya. We have got Irfan Habib, who is from Alama Iqbal Memorial School, Zainapura. We have got Basir Ahmad of Higher Secondary School, Barbuk Imam Sahib with us. Without taking much of your time, I will straight away switch to Mr. Iqbal Saab. Mr. Iqbal Saab, you are most welcome to the program.
थैंक यू सर थैंक यू
सर मैं आपसे जानना चाहूंगा, आप इस बारे में मतलब इस बारे में आप रोशनी डालिए। ये जो है मतलब आईसीटी इसने एक ना पूरे वर्ल्ड को एक ग्लोबल विलेज में समेट के रख दिया है। फ्रॉम हैंड हेल्ड डिवाइसेस टू कंप्यूटर्स, एवरीथिंग राइट नाउ इज डायरेक्टली और इनडायरेक्टली डिपेंडेंट ऑन दिस आईसीटी। आप इसके बारे में सर प्लीज पहले रोशनी डालिएगा, फिर बात करेंगे आपसे।
ओके, थैंक यू सर। First of all, I'm very thankful to education sector Shupian district, especially Chief Education Officer Shupian and the organizers of this event. I'm highly thankful for this invitation. Rightly, we are living in a digital era, and we know that all of our services are being provided through this ICT means. ICT that means information and communication technology. A blend of technologies, a blend of devices, a blend of different communication devices that are delivering us different kinds of services through internet, through different devices. And it has changed totally the scenario, the way we store, we process, we disseminate the information. And from businesses to financial institutions, from governmental matters to personal matters, everything is being delivered through these ICT tools. And education sector, which we see that is one sector that has witnessed the greatest transformation in this digital era. We know that the recent pandemic, COVID-19, and this pandemic taught us how we can harness the power of these ICT tools to provide the efficient alternative to our traditional education sector. So during this period, the use of technology became inevitable, and for the continuation of our education. Every educational institution was online, and we were delivering education online. The students were getting education online. It was possible only because of the ICT tools. The tools like internet, the different platforms, the different blend of software that provides us online scenario of the education system. So it is a fact that we are much more dependent on the ICT tools, and the future, the way we are moving ahead, is totally dependent on this ICT. Currently, we are talking about Industrial Revolution 4.0. That will be that is the given by this ICT tools. We are talking about Web 3.0. All this is based on these ICT tools, and to be relevant in this world, we should know this field, and we should try to get much and more awareness about it. We should know this field, and we should try to get much. There is an echo from some device. So we know that ICT tools have an immense potential to support, enhance, optimize the delivery of educational information, because we know that ICT tools have the power of anywhere, anytime, and any device delivery. So we can deliver services from any place, to any place using any device, whether that is a laptop, whether that is a desktop, or whether that is a handheld mobile phone. So that
Right.
is the benefit of that, and we can use it. We see that there is a growth of online platforms, like you might have heard about MOOCs, massive open online courses, Swayam
Right.
platform, Coursera, Khan Academy, and edX. There are a lot of platforms that are delivering efficient and high quality course content to far flung areas, to the remote areas, to the students who could never imagine to get the course content from the IIT experts, from the experts of MIT universities. So that is now possible because of these ICT tools. So we see that we have recently to uh, uh, make the students and faculty members more and more diverted towards these ICT tools. Government of India has also introduced a national award for innovative use of ICT tools. So these are
Exactly.
the steps that are to enrich the use of these ICT tools. And as a faculty member or as a student, we have to adapt to these technologies, we have to learn. And we see that the developed countries, what is the specialty about those developed countries? We are having big techs, big companies like Google, we have Facebook, we have Microsoft, we have Apple. What is specialty about them? The specialty is that they have harnessed the power of this ICT technology, because they are using that. They could earlier foresee what is the future all about. So they adopted this technology, and now they are ruling the world. And
Right.
if we want to harness the power of this technology, and we want to be prosperous in our future endeavors, we definitely have to learn about these ICT tools. We have to adapt these ICT tools. And this awareness program, I think it is a big step towards this, because we must spread awareness among the students regarding the benefits of these ICT tools, regarding the use of these ICT tools. We should more and more try to convince our students and faculty members towards these technologies. So I
Exactly.
think that Chief Education Office Shipin deserves a good appreciation for organizing this kind of program to give the awareness among the students and faculty members regarding the benefits of these ICT tools. And we should try to organize such programs at a broader scale.
Right. Iqbal Saab, I've got a question for you, if you'll allow me. See, actually,
Okay.
there's a technical gap. Actually, the thing is, most of the people think the ICT is not an alternative to the traditional method of teaching. That I agree. That I
Yeah.
agree. We cannot say that this is an alternative. But there is an important role of teacher while displaying the information while in teaching learning process, I can say. Thing is, most of the teachers are not adaptive, they are not used of this technology. What method should we adapt at an administrative level so that every teacher and student can be involved in making use of ICT while in this teaching learning process?
Yeah, there's a good question, because it is a fact that ICT based education is not a replacement of the traditional education. Now, we can
Right.
use it as a supplement, because it is a kind of tool that you can use for effective delivery of the education. So
Mhm.
if we can use it as a tool, then we can maximize the benefit and the impact of our education. So for
Mhm.
that, the first thing is the awareness about it, because we at this in this Kashmir or this area, we start about the learning about this education, ICT technology at a very later age,
Right.
as opposed to the West, where we see that this education is given from the primary stage. So
Mhm.
our students are scared. What is this programming? What is this ICT technology? What are the? They feel that it is a kind of difficult subject. So first
Mhm.
thing is we have to motivate them that this is the most easy and most useful and interactive means and tools for education. So I
Right.
will be demonstrating you some of the tools that you can use for effective delivery of the most complicated concepts. Because
Right.
in our areas we see that, like for example, programming language, coding,
Mhm.
we feel that coding is a difficult area, but it
Mhm.
is a fun, it is a area which is very easy and
Mhm.
which we can use from our early age. So
Mhm.
as an administrators, we should start spreading knowledge about these things, we should start courses about these things from the very early stage, because
Mhm.
when we take it from the early stage, it we get adapted to these kind of technologies the way we get
Right.
adapted
Right.
to the different languages, mathematics. Same way, if we start early use of the coding and technology, then we
Mhm.
can get best benefited from it. So if we see
Mhm.
the examples, the big billionaires of the world, like Bill Gates, he
Mhm.
started coding at the age of 13. Like
Right.
Elon Musk, he started coding
Mhm.
at the age of 10 years. So he was
Mhm.
10 years when he programmed a game. So
Mhm.
similarly, Mark Zuckerberg, he was just around 13, 14 years when he started coding. So we have
Mhm.
to, first of all, uh, we have to motivate our students, our faculty about these things. We have to introduce courses regarding that at the very early stage, so that they can get benefit of that at the higher levels.
Right, Iqbal Saab. See, there are some pre-built softwares that can be used for effective implementation of this ICT in the schools. If somebody is not very much used of coding and all that, in fact, the government of India have already initiated a very good project. They have introduced this ICT labs in schools. They have introduced computer-aided learning labs in various schools. But still, there's a lag. Most of the teachers and students are not using it because the thing is they are very much scared of using it. Otherwise, it
Yeah.
could have been a good alternative. It could have been a very good alternative to the traditional method of teaching. See, actually, there's a proverb that if you cannot remember, suppose the, a thousand, that you cannot make a child learn 1,000 lines in a day, but a picture, if you are showing him a picture, that can be very
That's
easy to
worse.
learn.
Yeah.
Right.
So that is
Still,
true. Because if we see that this computer world, it is very interactive and eye catchy. We see that
exactly.
our kids, 2 3 years kids, they are able to operate a mobile phone, while a 30,
Mhm.
40 or 60-year old person is not able to operate it that to that efficient or proficiency. So what is the main benefit of that, why they are able to use this mobile phone at the early age? Because it
Mhm.
is interactive, it is fun based. If we are able to provide the education in on the same pattern, that
Mhm.
will become a fun, and students will be able to get maximum out of that. So I will be demonstrating you. For example, if we see the mathematics, we feel that students find mathematics the most difficult subject at the early age, because it looks like about the numbers, number crunching, their thing, graph, geometry or any other functions. But we can show them visually these different kinds of concepts on different software. We have
Mhm.
simulation softwares. For example, if we
Mhm.
have to study about a plant, anatomy of a plant or a human anatomy, we have to show him different organs of the humans, the working of that. We can simulate that using different softwares. We have different softwares that we
That
can
is
use
true.
to show them, so they can have a visual impact. And we know that a word is thousand. A picture is worth 1,000 words, so they will, that has the maximum retention power. So if you will show them how a heart works, if you show them how the absorption of water happens in a plant using an animation, that will have maximum retention in a student. So it can help them to get better concepts. So we can use these technologies.
Exactly, sir. That's cool out of you, sir. Sir, shall we listen one of our students? It's Irfan Habib. Let's see what
Yeah.
he has to say about the topic. Irfan
Okay.
Habib, are you there?
Yes, sir, of course. So first of
Carry on.
all,
Carry on with your views? What are your views? What's your visualization about this impact of ICT on improving the education scenario? How do you feel we should
yes,
use this education technology in the schools?
First of all, it's an honor and privilege to have me for this status. Sir, I'm
Hold
Irfan
on.
Habib from the Institute Alama Iqbal Memorial, Zanapura.
Hmm.
First of all, let me thank you for this glorious event. Sir, I think that ICT has played a vital role in education because if we see today, the most of the institutions, not in our Kashmir, but in the rest of the world, they are using the ICT devices. First of all, we should know what ICT is. It stands for Information, Communication, and Technology. So the ICT, it has played a vital role in education. During the last pandemic, we came to know about the importance of ICT in education. We realized the importance of ICT in education. And at this point of time, we are living in Kashmir, we are living in India as a country. At this point of time, if we do not adapt ICT in education, the next decade, the next 10 years, it is going to extinguish the whole education system. There will be no concept of schools in the next 10 years. So we have to adapt it earlier. It's uh, always, it is said that it is survival of fittest. It's not survival of fittest. It is survival of adaptability. You are smart does not mean you would survive. We have to adapt this time, this technology. It doesn't matter what type of technology we are going to adapt, whether it is e-learning, whether it's virtual classroom, it's artificial intelligence, it's blockchain, it's DVDs, it's smart boards. But this time what's important is to create a positive attitude towards this technology. At this point of time, we have to make our teachers skillful enough to use this technology. And there are three forms of this technology. First one is supportive learning, second is blended learning, and the third one is complete e-learning. At this point of time, we have to use blended learning. We have to make a collaboration of the smart teachers and the smart technology. Earlier we were saying that education is a three-tier process: parents, teachers, and students. But at this point of time, education is a four-tier process. It's teacher, it's student, it's parent, and it's technology. We cannot
Right.
neglect the role of teacher, but we have to use the collaboration of teacher and technology for the effective education.
Good enough. Good enough. That was nice to hear from you. Wait, we'll get you back. Iqbal Sahab, he was talking
Yeah.
about a kind of four-tier technology, kind of four-tier teaching learning process. That is he have involved technology as an essential tier in the teaching learning process. I think that is very much true from on his behalf. What's your stand on this, sir?
Yeah, it is a true that it is a four-tier education system where we see that the technology is an important and integrated part of our education now. And
Right.
when we see that a teacher is now a facilitator, we call him a facilitator. And you might have heard about the flipped classroom learning.
Mhm.
That is the kind of learning where we on the teacher, the role of the teacher is just a facilitator. We ask a student about any concept, he has to prepare it, he has to use the different ICT means to learn about that concept. And then on the next day when we come to the classroom, the teacher just is to clear the doubts of the students. So the student pre-hand has learned about these concepts using different means provided on you through these ICT tools. So teacher is a facilitator. On the other hand, the role of the teacher in spreading the knowledge about these ICT tools is much more important. So we have to understand this, that it is a four corner education system where technology is an indispensable tool to spread an effective education. So rightly pointed out by the Irfan Habib.
Right, right, sir. That's good. Let me give chance to one of our students. It's Taiba Anayat. Taiba Anayat, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what's your stand on this use of ICT in overall impact of this education?
She is muted. Unmute her, sir.
Wait, wait, wait. I have just unmuted her. Okay, carry on, Taiba.
I welcome all with Islamic greetings as Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Yeah.
Today I am here to present myself and my school HSS Harman before my spiritual guides and the scholars of district Shopian. So I may start with the Quranic verse, that is, يرفع الله الذين آمنوا منكم والذين أوتوا العلم درجات. Allah will exalt in degree of those who believe and those who have been granted knowledge. Learning and using technology in seeking knowledge is highly recommended for every Muslim in this era, and where the technology is a part of all aspects in our lives. Technology is used all around us at homes, schools, in the space, on land, and underwater. There is no place on the earth where the technology has not been utilized. Present era is of technology, and among the technology, information communication technology is the most important. It is a power and is playing a critical role and vital role in all aspects of human life. It has integrated the world and changed the entire global economic, social, political, as well as educational scenario. Overall global growth and development largely depend upon skilled workforce, which is possible through quality education. It has fundamentally changed the practice and procedures of all forms of endeavors within society, business, and in education. It is gradually transforming education from traditional to hybrid and impacted teaching methods, learning approaches, as well as scientific researches. Every nation has a responsibility to educate their children. It is their fundamental right. But it does not mean that only the right to access education, but the right to receive quality education through quality teaching. Historically, education was known as socially oriented activity and a process of empowering society. But in the era of globalization, it has become a socio-commercial activity which started empowering society distinctly by applying combination of traditional and modern approach. ICT in education simply means learning with ICT. It has become an indispensable part of the education system. It has gradually transformed education society into knowledge and information society, which in result has transformed economy into knowledge economy. It is a modern and qualitative technological approach and has a deep impact on education system. It has introduced qualitative change that increases productivity and change the overall style and functioning of the educational system and its governance. It is contributing and will contribute immensely in the development of education. In global competitive era, technology is the backbone of everything. By the adoption of information and communication technology, education has become much more effective than the past. Many researchers, academicians, and the industry professionals have proved that ICT provides opportunities to all educational participants to learn. Across the world, it has been accepted by the educational planners that increased exposure of students to the ICT through curriculum integration has cast a significant and highly productive impact on their achievements.
Mhm.
Its exposure improved their knowledge, comprehension, practical skills, presentation skills, and innovative capabilities to a great extent. It empowered and enhanced the ability, adaptability, knowledge, and surviving skills of students and of teachers. Its instructional use improved the progress and the development of faculty and students alike. It optimizes teachers' delivery of information and adds value to the process of learning and organization and the management of learning institutions. It improves the students' learning through self-paced learning and by accessing them to a wide range of up-to-date learning materials. It is facilitating actually them educational participants to acquire and absorb knowledge and increase academic productivity. It is helping nations to enhance educational systems beyond classrooms and reaching out all the sectors of society in common. Is playing an outstanding role in formulating, improvising, and executing policies in social, economic, political, and educational sector, and widening the range of opportunities for students, for teachers, for the industry, and for poor. In comparison to other sectors, impact of information communication technology on education is below the poor level. It is due to many explicit and implicit factors. Among the factors, most obvious ones are there's the insufficient funding for technology and upgradation, lack of proper training for the teachers, lack of motivation to the students, time constraint, and lack of infrastructure in the rural areas. That is lack of the confidence and lack of the motivation. But due to growing competition at the education sector and market demand, it is showing progress, and educational institutions are gradually adopting ICTs in the classrooms, learning settings for developing efficiencies and flexibilities in terms of delivery of information, and to provide support for customized educational programs to meet the need of individual learners. Most of the institutions have adopted internet as well as www as an essential tool for information communication. ICT has transformed the way the education is actually delivered. It's a tool for teaching and learning itself, the medium through which teachers can teach and learners can learn. There are many different types in which ICT has been envisaged as a medium for teaching and learning, including computer-assisted learnings, web learning, e-classes, online training, distance education, digital trainings, etc. ICT plays an important role on three fundamental aspects of education, that is access, quality, and cost. It is advancing knowledge by expanding and widening access to education, by improving the quality of education, and also by reducing its cost while extending the education to the remote areas through like virtual e-learning, online, and distance learning. ICT in education has provided more employment opportunities within the education system directly or indirectly through academic and non-academic staff. The pandemic has forced the education sectors to shift dramatically through virtual and blended modes of the teaching and learning using various information communication technology tools and has radically accelerated the pace and the urgency of various ongoing technological driven educational initiatives. Students and teachers are now relying on various online platforms to adopt new pedagogical methods to learn and teach. Educational communities across the world are coming together and figuring out various ways to support students and teachers with innovative platforms and strategies. The crisis has also helped in the stimulation of innovation in the education field. India has also seen various ICT-led initiatives to reach out to everyone in such difficult times, including the most marginalized population, which may lack access to adequate healthcare. And what about education? Lack of access to devices and connectivity. Families which may feel less equipped to children's learning from home. There have been a monumental rise in adoption, widespread use of the online tools like Zoom, Google Classes, Blackboard, mobile applications to facilitate communication with parents, telephone, television, and radio to try to reach every learner. This global crisis has reiterated the potential of ICT in enabling the goal of education access and quality for all children. India has been responsive in utilizing various existing national and state level platforms like Diksha, National Repository of Open Educational Resources, WhatsApp, television, radio, as a response to continue the learning process during the pandemic. There has been a surge in various innovative approaches and solutions as well as on the individual level in support of education. So these were my views regarding this topic. So thank you.
Uh-huh. That was damn great from Taiwan. I of class 9. She was talking about some good things like use of World Wide Web in implementing the education. In fact, effective education. She was talking about the resources. Then one of the important points that I have noted, Iqbal Saab, she was talking about the time constraints with the teachers while preparing their lectures and to deliver them in the classroom. So, as a teacher, I would like to ask you: are there really some constraints on the teachers for preparing the lectures to be delivered in the ICT format or what? What's your stand on this, sir?
Yeah, it is good to see, to listen from these good students. So she has highlighted this point that it is a fact that it takes some time to prepare your lectures using these ICT tools. For example, if you have to prepare a PPT, PowerPoint presentation, so
Right.
it will take you some time at home to prepare that, to add different kind of multimedia content, images, video, or some animations. So
But
the teacher has to take some pains for that. That is true.
but at the
But
at the same time, it will improve the learning comprehension of the students.
quality of the education, yeah, it will definitely have a much more impact of the education on the students. So if
Right.
you are taking some additional time for a good cause, that is a blessing. So students have, teachers have to take some additional pains for the effective delivery of this education. They have to prepare, they have to first of all learn these ICT tools, then they have to adopt, then
Right.
they should have such kind of environment at the home, at the educational institution, and they should have time enough, ample time to prepare these kinds of content and then deliver it efficiently before the students. So they have to take some
Exactly.
pains, but it has broader benefits for the student community.
And one thing more, Valsab, I think once you are used to of using these things like creating the multimedia content for the classroom, once you are used to it, then I don't feel it will be cumbersome for them to prepare for the next time and all that.
Yeah, yeah, every first step is a difficult one, and but once you
Hmm.
start a journey, you are adapted to these kinds of technologies, and then it becomes easy. So when you
Right.
take these responsibilities, then they ease out. So as
Oh,
I rightly said, fa innama al usri yusra. So
right,
definitely with
right.
every difficulty there is an ease. So you have to take these difficulties, and then there will be ease. So first, at the
Right.
first step, it will be difficult.
Fine, sir. Sir, we have got one more student. It's Mehran Farooq of Higher Secondary School, Zanafora. Mehran, are you listening me, dear?
Yes, sir, I'm listening to you.
Carry on. What is your stand on the things on today's topic? On today's debate
Before
we'll have.
mentioning anything, sir, please accept my greetings of Islamic as Assalamu alaikum on behalf of our dignified staff members and also me as Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So
Walaikum
as we are
assalam.
discussing about, sir, as we are discussing about the topic that is given by the ICT skills, and first of all, I have to say that we will go to the definition as we are given by the studies materials where I have got it that ICT can be defined as the use of hardware and software, and we use that software as a efficient
That
management of the
Me-
informations.
Mehran Farooq,
I
that's a
sir,
separate
let
thing.
me complete, sir. I am
Because
going to the topic. I am going to the topic,
carry
sir.
on. Carry on.
Sir, I have that we are talking about the scope of it is scope of it ICT in education. So I can tell you that one thing that I will give you an example like a person from a village also can refer the latest information research every day, and we can also use the television broadcast is the one of the best communication media to educate students, farmers, sportsmen. The difficult experiment is advanced surgery for medical students. Astra can be viewed in online tutoring to the students logs into her or his tutor through the use of internet at home. The students ask the questions and they get replies by the teachers. The students can use the PowerPoint, Excel as MS Paint, and the apps that are already downloaded or launched in the Play stores. That we are going through the Physics Wala app. I will let the example of the Physics Wala app that have been launched in the June on 6th June 2021, and most relevant and installed app in the India. And it was based by the Alak Pandey sir that it was not only for the students betterment, but it was affordable for all the students. That we are there are so many other e-learning apps that are some Byju's, Vedantu, and other. But the Physics Wala app is affordable and that can every student. So we can go to that ICT help us also the students to learn and to get acknowledgement through these ICT technologies that are some applications through tools like computers, ICT mobile devices, but also can use and get motivations and guidance from the teachers easily. Teachers' application of curriculum can be monitored by the analyzing testers. This can be used by the teachers for assessing the improving their own performance, meeting state and national standards. Students use ICT as reference tools. They use that Muhammad Iqbal Bhatt sir was saying that the ICT tools can be used for a better skillments of the students. I will let me say something about this that students use ICT as a reference tool. They use computers to browse the internet to look information, project information, and literature survey. Teachers use ICT in research of preparing teaching materials, participate in online forums and online conferences. Researchers use ICT tools to collect, process, and analyzing data. School administrators use ICT tools for administrative purpose, like admission section to collecting the admission data, admiring everything that we have got through it.
Good. Good
That's
enough,
all
my
about,
dear.
sir. I get.
That's good. That's good. Iqbal sir, if we analyze literally, the medical science is totally dependent on this ICT now because they have adopted software up to the extent they cannot do even a single surgery without assistance of internet and all that. That is very much true. This is not the kind of topic we are discussing today. Actually, we are discussing how we can influence the students with the use of this ICT in the classroom. Sir, as per my concern is concern, there are a lot of gaps. In fact, how the teachers, how sir, I would straight I would like to know how we should encourage teachers to get used of this ICT technology and to reach to the students in a better fashion.
So first, for teachers, for teacher motivation, we have to motivate them. We have to do different. We have to organize different kinds of faculty development programs. The way we see in our higher education sector, or the
Mhm.
way we have witnessed during the COVID pandemic, there was a flood of different kinds of faculty development programs where the teachers were trained to use these ICT tools, to use different online platforms for the effective effective delivery of the content. So first we should motivate them, we should educate them. If a teacher is scared about these technologies, then how can he use that for effective delivery? First of all, we have to get rid of this fear regarding these technologies. We should train our faculty, we should train them with the best facilities, so that they adapt to these technologies, they see the benefits of these technologies. Only then they will be motivated to use this technology in their day-to-day class delivery. So for that,
Exactly, sir.
the role goes to the administration and the school authorities, that they should train these faculty members, because we see that only a small chunk of the faculty members know these technologies to a greater extent. So most of the faculty members are not aware about these ICT tools or these different online platforms that can be used to assist their classroom education. So we should make a different, or organize different kinds of faculty development programs at the district level or at the school level, to make awareness about these software tools. If they cannot master all the tools, at least we can show them the basic, the fundamental ICT tools that they can use in their day-to-day delivery of lectures. So for that, the role goes to the administration, and we should facilitate our faculty members.
Means there's always a scope of betterment. That means if somebody is not very much aware, we should actually create an interest. We should actually develop a kind of faith among the teachers that that this ICT is not a kind of gate. It will not going to eat up somebody.
No, no,
This is
it
simply
is
a
a
kind
tool
of,
to assist you.
it is actually a tool to assist you that will
Yeah,
actually ease out your work in the classroom.
will.
Right?
Yes, definitely.
Fine, sir. We have got one more student, Basir Ahmad of Higher Secondary School, Barpuk Imam Sahib. Let's hear him what he has to say.
Yeah.
Basir, are you listening me?
Yes, sir, absolutely. Thank you
Carry
very
on.
much, sir.
What are your
First of,
carry on? What is your stand on this ICT program?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Myself Basir Ahmed from
Walaikum
Majestic
assalam.
Barbu. Let me overview on this very topic or professing impact of ICT on improving the education. The role of information and communication technology in education is undisputed globally. ICT have potentially powerful tool for extending educational opportunities. ICT have the potential for increasing access to and improving the relevance and quality of education. The impact of ICT for teaching and learning process has become passionate as it faculties teaching and learning process create as a conducive learning environments and helps learner to develop creative thinking and self-confidence. ICT has opened new challenge for quality education. It has changed many aspects of the lives. The purpose of this paper is to discuss the benefits of information communication technology using education in the enhancement of teaching and learning and effective introducing of ICT in the teaching and learning process is an indispensable means of improving it. It highlights the impact benefits of an ICT in education. And after that, let me telling you about the objectives of ICT in education. That is first improvement in learning pace and achievements. The second one is increase a quotient of knowledge skills by individuals required for better living and sustainable development. And the third thing is to promote and faculties the relationship between human and the environment. And the fourth thing is to implement the principle of long-lasting education, to increase the variety of educational methods and services and literacy rate through distance education, to promote the technology literacy among citizens and the equal importance to slow and gifted children. And after that, let me telling you about the role, not role, as well as benefits of ICT in the field of education. That is the impact of ICT on what is learned conventional teaching has emphasized content. For many years, courses have been written around textbooks. Teachers have taught through lecture and presentation, interspersed with tutorial and learning activities designed to consolidate and rituals the convention. Contemporary settings are now favoring circular that promote competency and performance. ICT and their outcomes as play by other technology in making our lives quite comfortable and purposeful. The ICT has been developed very rapidly nowadays. Therefore, in order to balance it, the whole educational system should be reformed and it should be integrated into educational activities. Traditional learning was hard. Introduction of ICT has changed the traditional concept. It has the potential to transform the nature of education. ICT and their role have a transform potentially of serving its cause and helping able to person connected with the process and product in no number of ways. A role of or impact of ICT in education. Let me tell. First role is ICT has the potential to improve education system of the nation, enable students to demonstrate achievement in ways which might not be possible with traditional method. ICT may help students to satisfy their urges of curiosity, inventories, and construction. ICT helps enhance the quality of education by faculty new forms of interaction between students, teaching, education employees, and the community. ICT act as a provide student and ICT act as a provides student and teachers with new tools that enable improved learning and teaching and adds to skills formation. ICT improve quality and structure of the syllabi by enforcing competency and performance-based approach towards it. Access to the learning perform any time convention to the learner. Learner can be at any place to log on. The teacher gets information to help from ICT in their task of teaching to increase variety to educational service and medium. It improves that learning process through the provision of more interactive educational material that increase learner motivation and faculty. There is a question of basic skills. ICT makes education more accessible for all, bring to the doorstep of children living in a remote rural location by means of enabling distance learning, improving the efficiency of educational administration and management at every level from the classroom, school library, to the school and on the sector as whole. Thank you very much, sir.
That's good enough. Well, sir, we have got one more student, Vani Danish, with us. We'll hear him, then we'll talk again.
Okay.
Vani Danish, are you there?
Yes, sir, I am here.
Carry on.
Yes, sir.
You are not audible, my dear. Is there any issue? Vani Danish, you are not audible. I think there's a glitch. Rectify it.
Shall I leave?
Yes, good now.
Okay. After review series and all the participants.
No, you are not audible, dear.
He's having some internet issues.
I think there's a glitch. I think there is some issues with the internet. Vani Danish, you just rectify yourself, okay? I'll get back to you. Meanwhile, we have got Irfan Habib with us live from some forest. His background is looking damn nice right now. Irfan, can you listen me?
Yes, sir. Of course, I can.
Okay. See, actually, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you like offline classes or online classes?
Sir, if we talk about offline classes or online classes, it's not like thinking about we always think in black and white, but the actual reality it is in gray area. Online classes have some benefits and some as the offline classes have some benefit, but there are some disadvantages at the same time. At the same time, offline classes have different disadvantages. At the same time, online classes are having disadvantages and advantage at the same time. It's not like thinking black and white. Suppose if we talk about the offline classes, we are just interacting with the teacher directly. And if we talk about the online classes, we are interacting with the teacher, but at the same time, we are experiencing the lecture, not hearing it from the teacher. This is the
What do you mean by
difference.
what do you mean by experiencing a lecture and hearing a lecture? While
The
online,
support,
while you are in online classes, the teacher is delivering a lecture, and you are hearing that as well.
but at the same time, if the teacher is using the softwares, if he is using smart boards at the same time, is suppose if we're studying about heart in classroom, we just make a diagram on the board, but at the same time in the online system we came to know the 3D diagram. We see the 3D diagram of heart, and it gives us idea. And it is the great saying, what we hear we forget, what we see we remember, and what we do we understood that. That's why I'm saying
Right.
that we're experiencing the things.
Right. See, actually, one more question I'm going to
So,
pose.
sir, before you pose a question, I want to interrupt you here that I listened to three students, and it was not like that it was a debate. It was like
See,
that it's an essay competition, and we are here to derive a good conclusion.
okay, okay, leave that thing. I will decide that. It's not your duty to decide here. Let me decide it. Okay, just, just, just be calm and let me decide that.
Okay, sir.
Okay, carry on. Tell me, if you are in the classroom with the traditional teaching methodology, the teacher is using a marker on the whiteboard,
Yes, sir.
and you are in a classroom where a teacher is using a smart board with the projectors and some diagrams that you were just talking about. What would you like to hear?
I would like to hear the smart board. I would like to study with the smart board because it gives you the more perfect experience.
That
I
means
will
there's
be
a
with.
vibrant and resonating experience with the smart boards and all that. That means
Yes, sir.
the technology is affecting this teaching learning process overall. If you are not going to use this, if you are not going to adapt these things in your life, in your classroom, you are not going to sustain far.
Yes, sir. Sir, at this point of time, I'm at picnic and we're just delivering a lot of information. We're just sharing a lot of information. It's because of ICT we're doing this thing.
Exactly,
It's
exactly.
the most, I think, the most valuable, the most perfect thing I found in this ICT that you can use it anywhere, anytime. That's why I'm
Mhm.
experiencing at this part of time.
Fine, fine. That's cool. Iqbal sir, let me come back to you, sir. Let's conclude this topic for the day. Could you please give a concluding talk to us?
Yeah. So So we finally got this that ICT tools are very important and indispensable for our education sector, and we see that this online platforms or the education online education, it is not a replacement of the traditional education sector,
Exactly.
but
Right.
it is a way to supplement and assist your traditional education sector education, and to make it much more useful, much more beneficial for the students. So for
Mhm.
that, we have to learn these technologies, we have to adapt to these technologies, and we have to use those technologies in our day-to-day classwork. So we require trained faculty members for that. So if we want to use ICT technology, so we have to first of all train our resource persons or our human resource for that, so that they can deliver it in the better way. Otherwise they will be the jack of all and king of none. So we should focus on the areas that have greater impact on our efficiency of the education. So we should train our
Right.
faculty members. At the same time, we should uh, train our students as well how to adapt to these ICT tools. What are the different means of education available through these ICT tools that they can use to supplement their classwork? So previously
Right.
we used to say that teacher is the only knowledge house or the repository of knowledge. But now we say that there are different tools. If you go to Google, if you go to YouTube, there are billions of videos available discussing different kind of content with best delivery methods delivered by the best teachers of the world. So you can use those tools to supplement your classwork. So students should learn these tools. They should know what are the different kinds of means where they can learn and they can acquire this knowledge. So this is not just that the classroom teaching or the books that they can refer to. They can refer to this yeah, almost infinite repository of the education. So that will help them so they can attain higher levels in their future endeavors. So we suggest our students to learn these things, to learn ICT technology. It is not just to
That's right.
supplement your education, but the future lies with the technology. We know that the highest jobs in the world are provided by this ICT sector. So if
Exactly.
you try to make it as a the field of your future, so you should learn these ICT technologies. You should learn about the coding, about the computer system, about the different. We currently are talking about artificial intelligence. We are talking about machine learning. We are talking about blockchain technology. That we say that that will be the future of internet 3.0, web 3.0 will be based on machine learning, artificial intelligence, and blockchain technology. So our students should be well versed about this. Leave aside that we can use these tools for educational purposes as well, but they can use it as their they can use or learn these things for their future purposes. So we should adapt these technologies. We should make our students aware about these technologies. We should use some kinds of extracurricular courses which are beyond the curricular courses, where the students will be taught about these ICT tools and different fields. So that is from my side.
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks for coming onto the show, sir. We are very much thankful. These are Mr. Mohammad Iqbal, Professor,
Thank you, sir.
Computer Applications. I'm grateful and thankful to you, sir. I am thankful to all the participating students. I am thankful to all those teachers and the students who are viewing us online right now. This was for the day. Thank you very much. God
One more
bless you
last
all.
point. One last point. So
Carry on, sir.
I will be happy to see that if you organize some kind of online webinar for the students, so that we can show them what are the different tools that are available, or especially for
Sir,
faculty members, what are the
sir,
different tools available that they can use, especially in their classrooms, to teach different kinds of subjects. Because most of those faculty members or teachers are not aware about these things. So I will be happy to join that program if you organize such kind of program.
of course, sir. For this, I don't have words right now to express my gratitude for this lovely suggestion. Inshallah, we'll come on the table and set up this program in future. Inshallah, not in future.
Yeah.
In fact, in coming days, we'll be setting this program, sir. Thank you very much for a brilliant suggestion, sir. And
Okay,
thanks
thank
to
you,
all
sir.
dear viewers. Thanks to dear participants. Iqbal, sir, you are damn nice for the day, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you, sir. Okay, assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi.
Assalamu alaikum.